Hello, good evening. This is Earshot, and I am your host, Sanskruti. Today on News Decoded, we have a very special guest, Mr. Ajit Kumar. He happens to be from Sri Lanka, and he has come recently to India for his further education, his master's, and all of that. And we thought we could chat with him and bring to you everything and his perspective as the local Sri Lankan. What is exactly happening there? What is the crisis like? And how are they navigating some very, very tough times? So, first of all, thank you, Ajit, and welcome to your show.
Yeah, thank you, man. How are you?
I'm really good. And first, can you tell us about yourself? Introduce yourself to us and our viewers.
I'm Ajit Kumar, as you already said. I'm from in Sri Lanka, like 2006, where final civil war happening there. So
Mm.
when I was 12 years old, I was a kid, but I didn't understand what happening there. I could listen the explosion sounds and everything, but after I came to India only, I can understand. Okay, these all are happened there because at that stage I didn't understand anything. Whenever I listened the bomb explosions, just I went into the bunkers. So safety, my parents, they took safety measurements and we got into the home or else we get into the bunkers. That was in my childhood. Then I came back to India. Life is different. Like as a refugees, we have to undergo many circumstances like
Mm.
child labor.
Yeah, Ajit Kumar. Hello, Ajit Kumar. We were talking about the crisis or struggles you have went through as a refugee, Sri Lankan refugee in India. But we'd like to know how old are you now? Because during the civil war of Sri Lankan civil war in 2006, you were only 12 years old, as you have said. But
Mhm.
how old are you now?
I am 27, 27
Okay,
now.
now you are 27 years old. At 27, when you were 12 years old, you faced the civil war, you survived the civil war, and now at 27 years of age, you are facing the worst economic crisis in Sri Lanka. How do
Yes,
you
of
compare
course.
this both of these countries? Both of this crisis your country has gone through in the last 1 decade or so.
Like Sri Lanka got independent in 48, I think, but they got fully independent, like republic after 72 only. My parents also telling me like that from 70s also we got many crises. So I was grown up with the crisis only. After going back to Sri Lanka also I met lot of crises, economic crisis, then the corona. Like we are going every day like with curfews and some political crisis, then civil war. It seems like day-to-day life task in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankans are unlucky. It seems like
That
that
means you want
only.
to say that the Sri Lankan life is all about crisis, facing the struggles, right?
Always we are gone through the many struggles because our circumstances like that only.
Okay.
Before that, the civil war happened because of the minority and majority issues, but economic crisis happened because of poor economic policies.
Hmm.
So before the Tamils and Muslim people only suffered because of the civil war. Uh, Now everyone got suffered by the government.
So during the civil war, you fled Sri Lanka to save your life with your family, right?
Yes.
But do you think that even in this crisis, the people of Sri Lanka would be forced to flee their country because of the economic crisis?
Many people started to coming from Sri Lanka to India because of
Mm.
this civil war, not civil war, this economic crisis. But the thing is, still Sri Lankan economic crisis gone in that much level because they are suppressed always. and they are giving some free food and free money to the people here and there. But it will go like it will be boosted because opposition party also triggering the people to protest. So there is some political gimmicks by the opposition also.
Okay, so in Sri Lanka now there are a lot of protests going on everywhere, right?
Yeah, protest is going on everywhere.
Okay, what actually the people have suffered? Can you please explain us what you have experienced in the last few months or so in Sri Lanka because of the economic crisis? How do you explain the economic crisis in terms of a common man?
In common man, like our day wages is very low. Like we are getting wages like 1,500 or 1,000, but expenses will be like 5,000 per week. So, and we also don't have enough work. In Sri Lanka, there is lot of uh, sector only. There is no other sector like agro or anything else because Sri Lankan government only focused on service sector and tourism. Because of Corona, that sector totally closed, and
Both service
service,
sector and tourism sector got closed, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So most of the people working for the hotels or the lodges and like that, they don't have enough work. So and also construction work also stopped because of the lack of goods. So they are suffered due to the lack of work and lack of wages and everything, and also inflation also going high. Within month, we can see inflation by 20% and 25%. Like that is inflation is going on.
How can inflation actually affect the lives of the common man? For example, can you give us some example how prices of rice and other edible things shot up in within a month period?
Like if anyone going to the work and they are getting salary like 30,000 in Sri Lankan money, they have planned like that. Okay, we will manage our expenses within 20 or 25K, and we will save another 5K. But that expenses will go on beyond 40K, 45K. If anyone having one kid and wife and husband, they should spend like 45K per month. But they are getting like 30K per month.
Have that also induced the price of edible goods such as rice
Yeah,
and dal and etc. How
because
this has affected?
they in Sri Lanka they don't allow the fertilizers from outside. They don't allow the chemical fertilizers. They have went to the organic. So organic is failure one because Sri Lanka doesn't have that much technology and that much awareness. And also farmers suffering because they didn't educate the farmers. Their fundamental thing is we just focused on the service sector and tourism. Foreigners will come and tourists will come and we will get the money from them. We can run the country. They are having the policy like that. They don't mind about the farmers and fertilizers and wages and normal man and also irrigation. Also, there is a lot of problem. They don't. They are having in Sri Lanka. We are having lot of dams and water facilities, but there is an issue with the irrigation also. That is also a problem. Like we are importing food, edible things from India, Pakistan, and China too. Whenever we are importing, we have to pay in USD. We don't have enough USD in our country, so already we are in the debt, Chinese debt and Indian debt.
So
So
how is the what kind of anger can you see on the streets of Sri Lanka with the present regime, the Rajapaksa regime? What kind of anger do you see? What kind of things people say about the government?
Rajapaksa family. Actually, it's not a government. They are family ruling. It's like a kingdom. They are ruling by their family. Like 2009, Rajapaksa was as a president of Sri Lanka, and he claimed that I stopped the war and I finished everything. Then we are living in the peaceful country, and I will get our country in the progress. Uh, he has given many promise to the people, and he come back as a president, and he did many corruption in his government, like
Mm,
development, roadways development and building development, and those are developments. They did many corruptions. So because of that corruptions, our country gone into the debt. And people now they understand that Rajapaksa family got investment in some other country like Uganda and
mm.
African countries. They have
Sorry,
invested
what you are
lot
saying?
of
The
money.
Rajapaksa actually siphoned of the money and invested money Uganda and somewhere else, right?
Yeah, somewhere else, out of the country. Actually, people got understand everything, and they got angry because the common man thinking that we are suffered by the civil war by 3 decades. Rajapaksa got into the end, but now he did like economic crisis, and he was on the corruption, and he took our money to the some other countries, and our people are suffering. Uh, they don't have enough milk. They have to feed their kids. They don't have enough milk powder or milk.
Have you come across any hunger deaths in Sri Lanka? Hunger
Yeah,
deaths in Sri Lanka.
uh, they still we are not gone in that stage, but everyone in the hunger stage only. Like there is lot of NGOs helping to the poor people, but if none of them are like India, if India not sent to the rice to Sri Lanka, we will be gone into that stage only.
Mm.
India
I
helped Sri
want
Lanka in.
yeah, ask something, Ajit. That uh, has have things become worse after COVID? Because of course tourism is affected, and whatever
Of course.
economy was there has also gone has become worse. Basically, it's gone lower, the forex and everything. So how are things post COVID, and what was the situation even around COVID when COVID was on peak?
Mhm. Like in Sri Lanka, we don't have enough facility in medical sector.
Hmm, hmm,
Before COVID also, we don't have enough medical facility. After COVID also, we didn't develop our medical sectors. From economic side also, we have affected a lot of because because you said that while pandemic days, we cannot get tourism into Sri Lanka, and everyone afraid to travel. So Corona has affected a lot of things in Sri Lanka, like tourism, totally swapped.
yeah, and if you don't mind telling us where exactly in India are you, and what subject are you pursuing your PhD in? And what is your hope to be here? Do you
Mhm.
feel the sense of difference being here? Do you see a brighter future for yourself since you have got the opportunity to come to India and many others back in your country haven't?
Yeah, because my childhood also was in India, and I happy to hear because I have studied a lot of things, and I grown because of India only, and Indian people helped me a lot. My fortunately, I have this kind of chances. And
Mm.
now I came back from Sri Lanka to India is doing my PhD in fish immunology because
Criminology,
immunology, fish immunology,
fish
fish.
immunology.
Because fishery is the only one thing we are exporting from my district in Sri Lanka, like Trincomalee is fish. So I am doing my work in fish. So I'm going to do my PhD in fish immunology.
Okay,
So it
that
reminds me of you have said about your childhood in India because you have to flee your country because of the civil war. So can you also tell us tell our listeners about the days of civil war as you remember it? How you people fled from that country and what are the ways
Uh,
you fled from?
like what was happened in Sri Lanka before I came to India.
in during the
Just
civil
I
war.
just I will share my own experience. Like one day I was playing in the beach. Suddenly we can see the kefir I think raffle kind of thing fly over my head. Like
Hmm.
there is a lot of sound came. So I was
Hmm.
kid. Suddenly I could hear the explosion sound.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nearby my hometown, there is one targets of Sri Lankan
Hmm.
government. There is a LTT targets. So
Hmm.
they are blasting their bombs and there is a lot of explosions. So my parents came immediately to the beach and get me into the home and we went to the bunkers.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
that, it was happen and that day we planned we have to move to India and we came here. After that, Sri Lankan war have gone into the worst and worst. Fortunately, before that, we came to India.
I just want to
And
know that how many years of your life have you been in Sri Lanka in like totality, and also where exactly are you from in Sri Lanka?
I'm from Trincomalee, which is eastern province in Sri Lanka.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. And are things better in probably the bigger cities, Colombo and others?
can you repeat that again?
I said, are things better in the capital region, or is the situation similar everywhere in
It's
Sri
based on the persons because I'm working there in Trincomalee Harbor. So things are good in there. But people saying that Colombo is better because Colombo is developed. So everyone moved to Colombo because of there is a lot of opportunities.
Yes.
Fortunately, I had opportunity in my hometown.
So you
And
reminded me of the harbor thing. There is one Hambantota harbor which is totally sold off to Chinese.
mhm.
So
Yes,
what was what?
that is in deep south. I never gone there,
But
but
what are the people's reaction about the selling of Sri Lankan property to the Chinese? How that
All Sri Lankans are against to that. All Sri Lankans are against to that. Because Sri Lankans are ready to work. They are energetic. They are like Sri Lankans. We are thinking like we are the potential to do anything because we are living in a tiny country. We got champions in cricket in 1996 because of that only. We are believing in such a thing, but government is hacking us, and government is doing some gimmicks to the people, and they are playing with the political things, and they are getting our money and they are doing corruption. And also people not aware because 30 years, more than 30 years, been Sri Lankans never gone to outside of Sri Lanka. Most of the Sri Lankans, few Sri Lankans came out from Sri Lanka and go to India or somewhere else, some European countries, and they got knowledge and they have grown. But the people who are living inside of Sri Lanka, they don't have enough outside knowledge. Most of the people. That's why they are cheating us.
Lanka?
so
And Sri
you
Lankans always had Sri Lankan always hating China and also India also sometimes because we never like to allow any government or any country dominating Sri Lanka because we are getting help from India and China also we got many helps. But China used Sri Lanka and they got Port City and they got Hambantota Harbor like that. In India, they never did like that. Eventually, we are afraid about India is helping to Sri Lanka. Eventually, India also will doing such a things to Sri Lanka. People are afraid about India also, but I can damn sure Sri Lankans are hate China,
So I
and
just
this
want to know
Rajapaksa
that,
government.
yeah,
when
as
did you
of
last
now,
return?
did you?
Wait one second. When did you last return from Sri Lanka to India?
Me,
Yeah,
so I came here 14th of April last week.
last week. You came to okay. So when how is the so you took the you came directly from Colombo, right?
Yeah, I'm from Colombo.
How the
I took
fares have increased during this time to
how?
India? The fares of traveling to
Yeah,
the
yeah. Fares increased because of the inflation and availability of flights. We don't have previously we are Sri Lanka running many flights to India. Now everything reduced because of that fares are increased. Like I have paid 85K of Sri Lankan rupees, which is equal
Mm,
to 22,000 Indian rupees.
mm,
22,
okay.
mm,
23,000.
How much was it earlier? What was the price of
Before
ticket
that,
earlier?
up and down ticket will be around 7,000 or 8,000 only. Below
Now it has
10,000
grown up
only.
to
Below
now it has grown up
10,000
to
only.
85,000. Okay, it has
Yes,
grown up to
below
85,000.
10,000. Yeah.
mm.
When I returned
So
to Sri
I
Lanka, my fare was 3,000 only.
mm. I want to know that because I think one of the biggest things that we are reading as outsiders about Sri Lanka, at least in the recent past, is that the prices of food and basic necessities has become really bad. So, what is the situation of the farmers there in that case? Because I
Mhm.
read somewhere that even milk isn't available for people to drink, and if it's available, it's too costly. So how is the
Mm.
situation of the farmers and around that?
Like we are talking about the food crisis, but in Sri
Mm,
Lanka, medical crisis also started.
okay.
Because before that, medical crisis for the livestock, for the farmers, they are affected by that because we don't have enough forex to import the uh, antibiotics or some medical supplement to the livestock. So farmers are suffering from that, and also fertilizer also they don't have enough fertilizers. Then irrigation problem also in Sri Lanka. Irrigation problem is in minute level, but fertilizers and medical supplements and other supplements and seeds, we don't have enough seeds, hybrid varieties. Uh, like that, we don't have. Our farmers are suffering.
Okay. Mm. I'm sure all of this must be very hard for you, and I'm sure, like you've shared from your childhood, all of this must have been a lot of struggle, I'm sure, for you and for your friends and family too.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Ajit, for joining us and giving us an insight of what is happening in Sri Lanka, what are the struggles of the common people there, and how it is for a person who has moved outside to look at it from a distance. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, everyone who has tuned into our live at Earshot. We do news decoded every day in the evening. So stay tuned to Earshot. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter @Earshot Podcast. This is your host, Sanskruti, signing off for today. See you soon.